I have been covering the National Football League for a very long time, and I have seen many situations where the high of a victory is quickly met with the cold reality of league discipline. Right now, the Los Angeles Rams are in the middle of a very complex situation that could potentially overshadow their impressive wildcard victory. I want to break this down for you with the same precision I used back in my reporting days, because this is not just about a few finds, but about the overall health and focus of a team trying to make a deep playoff run. Before I dive into the technical details of these potential punishments and what they mean for the roster moving forward, I have a quick favor to ask of our dedicated community here. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like so we can keep bringing you the most reliable news in the league. Also, I really want to hear from you today, so please leave a comment down below telling me exactly which city you are watching from. I love seeing the reach of the Rams fan base across the globe. Now, let us get into the heart of the matter. My sources are indicating that the league office is currently reviewing several incidents that occurred during and immediately following the Rams' victory in the wildcard round. When I look at how the NFL handles these situations, it usually starts with a review by the Department of Football Operations. They look at everything from personal fouls on the field to any extracurricular activities that might have happened near the tunnels or in the post-game celebrations. The report suggests that multiple players are facing disciplinary action, which can range from significant financial fines to potential suspensions, depending on the severity of the infractions. I find it very interesting that this is happening now, just as the team is supposed to be focusing entirely on their next opponent. In the NFL, the timing of these notices is critical. Usually, the league sends out letters regarding fines on Tuesdays or Wednesdays following a game weekend. If several players are receiving these letters at once, it creates a massive distraction inside the facility. I have seen locker rooms get completely derailed by the feeling that the league is targeting them. For Sean McVay, this is a major test of his leadership. He has to keep his players focused on the game plan while they are dealing with the fallout of these league decisions. I have often said that the transition from a win to the next week is the hardest part of the playoffs, and this adds a layer of difficulty that no coach wants to deal with. The potential for a roster crisis is real. If the league decides that any of these infractions warrant a suspension, even for a single game, it could leave the Rams thin at key positions. In the playoffs, you simply cannot afford to lose starters or even key rotational players because of disciplinary issues. I am looking at the history of how the league has handled post-game scuffles and personal fouls in the playoffs, and they tend to be more strict because the eyes of the world are on these games. The NFL wants to maintain a certain image, and any deviation from that standard usually results in a swift and firm response from the commissioner's office. I am tracking the specific details of which players are involved, and while I cannot name them yet, the sheer volume of players mentioned in the reports is what is most concerning. This suggests a systemic issue with discipline during the last game, or perhaps a specific moment where several players got caught up in the heat of the moment. We have to remember that these games are incredibly emotional. You are playing for your season, and sometimes that intensity boils over. However, the league does not take excuses. They look at the video evidence and they make their rulings based on the rulebook. I will be monitoring the wires all day to see if any official announcements come out, but the preliminary information is enough to put everyone on high alert. This is a developing story that could have major implications for the Rams' chances of advancing further. I will continue to provide updates as I get more confirmation on the specific nature of the punishments. It is a tough spot for a team that should be celebrating a hard-fought win. Instead, they are looking over their shoulders at the league office in New York, waiting for the hammer to fall. I have seen this movie before, and it usually requires a very steady hand from the head coach to keep the ship on course while the external noise grows louder and louder. We are going into the most critical stretch of the season, and any loss of personnel or focus could be the difference between a trip to the Super Bowl and a disappointing exit. Stay tuned as I continue to peel back the layers of this developing controversy in the next segment of our analysis.
I want to continue our deep dive into the fallout of this disciplinary news because the technical side of the NFL appeal process is something many fans might not fully understand. When a player receives a notice of a fine or a suspension, they have a very limited window to file an appeal. I have spent years analyzing the collective bargaining agreement, and the process is very specific. The appeals are usually heard by designated officers who have no direct ties to the league's daily operations, which is supposed to ensure a fair hearing. However, in the playoffs, the league often fast-tracks these appeals so that a final decision is reached before the next kickoff. This means the Rams and the players involved are going to be living in a state of uncertainty for the next 48 to 72 hours. I can tell you from experience that this uncertainty is a coaching nightmare. Sean McVay has to prepare two different game plans in some cases. One plan where he has his full complement of players, and another plan where he has to fill the gaps left by those facing punishment. I have always admired McVay's ability to stay positive, but this is a situation that would frustrate even the most seasoned veteran coach. The financial aspect of this is also significant. While these players are well paid, a fine in the tens of thousands of dollars is still a major hit, and it can affect the morale of the younger players on the roster who might not have the same financial cushion as the veterans. I am also looking at how this affects the team's salary cap in the long run if any of these punishments result in lost game checks. The complexity of the NFL's disciplinary system is vast, and it often feels like a separate game is being played off the field. I want to emphasize that the Rams' depth will be tested like never before. If the league follows through with these punishments, we might see some unheralded players forced into starting roles in the biggest game of their lives. This is where the scouting department's work really pays off. Les Snead has built this roster to be resilient, but no team is truly prepared to lose multiple players to discipline issues simultaneously. I am also curious to see how the veteran leaders in the locker room respond. This is a moment where the team needs to circle the wagons and develop an us-against-the-world mentality. I have seen teams use this kind of adversity as fuel to play even better, but I have also seen it tear teams apart. The Rams have a strong culture, and that will be their greatest asset as they navigate this controversy. Let us summarize the situation as it stands today. We have a team that just won a massive wildcard game, but is now facing a potential roster crisis due to league-wide disciplinary reviews. Multiple players are involved, and the punishments could range from fines to suspensions. This creates a distraction and a tactical challenge for the coaching staff as they prepare for the divisional round. I will be here to provide the facts as they are confirmed, and to offer the context you need to understand why this is happening. The Rams are at a crossroads, and how they handle the next few days will define their postseason legacy. I am keeping my eyes on every development, and I will bring you the latest information as soon as it breaks. It is a high-stakes environment, and the pressure is only going to increase from here. To wrap things up, I want to remind everyone that the road to the Super Bowl is never easy, and it is often filled with these kinds of unexpected hurdles. The best teams find a way to overcome them and stay focused on the ultimate goal. I believe the Rams have the talent to do that, but the league office has certainly thrown a wrench into their plans. Thank you so much for joining me for this in-depth analysis of the current state of the Los Angeles Rams. I hope I have provided the clarity and depth you have come to expect from my reports. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a breaking news update. Your support means everything to us, and it helps us continue to provide high-quality coverage of the team we all care about. I will see you in the next video as we continue to track this story and everything else happening around the league. This is a critical time for the Rams, and I will be with you every step of the way to break it all down. One final reminder to please comment below with the city you are watching from. I really enjoy reading those and connecting with all of you. Until next time, I am keeping my focus on the field and the front office to bring you the truth.